Good day and welcome to today's edition of the Sport Rep Show. I'm your host, Limba Mupetami. Well, of course, a lot of things have been happening this week, and I'm pretty sure most of you can't wait to see Christine Mboma back in action. Well, Sport Rep caught up with the star as well as the likes of hockey captain Maggy Mengo. More on all of this later as we now head into the hit list segment of today's show. With the new year in full swing, Nestor Tobias said that all 4 continental title holders from his stable will each headline their own boxing event this year. Tobias said supporters can expect a boxing event as early as March this year. The Namibian Hockey Union's president, Regan Gregg, is supremely confident of success in the Indoor Hockey World Cup for the country's male and female hockey teams. He said this at the official send-off ceremony at the Ministry of Sports yesterday. Today, Standard Bank also had a send-off lunch for the team, and we have Maggy Mengo, the captain of the women's indoor hockey team. Have a listen to this.
Maggy Mengo, long-standing captain and stalwart, vintage player of the Namibian senior women's indoor hockey team. Maggy, you guys are leaving tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the Netherlands, where you're going to prepare for the upcoming Indoor World Cup in Pretoria. Tell us a bit more.
No, thank you firstly, thank you so much for having me online. Hello Namibia, hello every viewer, and a blessed 2020-2023. Our year has kicked off with lots of training. We've been from 5 a.m. in the mornings then late at night for the past 2 weeks that we've been training really hard. We're super excited to really go on the flight tomorrow, knowing that we're going to represent our country at a world stage, and where we really need to go out there and compete and really carry the nation and really fight for the title as well. So the excitement is there's positive energy. Thank you so much for having me, and we're super excited.
Maggy, I personally watched you guys play last year versus the Pretoria here locally in Windhoek, and it was really an eye-opener for me. Do you think there was progress on your side for the upcoming World Cup?
Yeah, sure. There has been a lot of gaps that we have been closing in the past months after the test series against South Africa. I think playing against South Africa was good, was just another testimonial that we can actually just do better and grow through it by winning the first ever test series against them. And now we're off to the Netherlands to really go compete against the top country that is actually the favoritism for the World Cup, and that will actually just help us prepare better. And we've improved, we've closed the gaps, but we're going to test our gaps that we've closed against the top country now, so which will just give us more insights in terms of what we should still work on those and polish on in the last few days before we kick off the World Cup.
The senior Dutch team that you guys are going to match up with to train against, they placed in Group B.
Yeah, they placed in Group B, yes.
And Namibia in Group A.
And yes.
Who's the other teams, other countries in Group A?
So we have Kazakhstan, sorry about that. We have Belgium, we have Canada, we have Ukraine, one of the top 4 countries, Czech Republic as well, one of the top countries in terms of ranking, and then ourselves in that Belgium, Canada, Ukraine, Czech, and Namibia and Kazakhstan. I don't want to say that name, that is so difficult. Apologies viewers for that.
I think it's Kazakhstan, but doesn't
matter.
Yes,
that's that one. Thank you.
Maggy, the Netherlands, Germany's not in the run this year for the World Cup. They're the number 1 ranked team, I believe, and then the Netherlands. With the Germans out, as you said, the Dutch are the favorite to probably win this. But I want to know from you, do you think the Dutch will be a bit soft on you guys on that side, or will they give it, or will they keep the cards close to the chest, keeping some secrets for the World Cup?
No, I think knowing the Dutch have been playing there, they would never go low on it, because I think for them it's also prep for the World Cup, and they also need to work on whatever they need to close on. So they would not go easy on us. They are competitive, a culture. It's a competitive culture, and they always want to give it their best. And I think they're also fighting for for sports as players, so they need to showcase as well what they have in them in terms of who's playing the best structure as according to their structure and plans as well. So yeah.
Maggy, you played last year your last tests for Namibia on local soil, and this will be your last tests in the World Cup. What is your feeling about that?
Lots of mixed emotions. It has been a great journey. It has been a learning journey. It has been a journey that has shaped me as an individual, as a sports person, but also as a person off the field. It has been a great experience, and I'm so grateful for having represent my country more than 100 times on the field and really playing for the badge on my chest, Namibia, and really just going out there and giving my best. So yeah, I'm focused and excited for the World Cup in terms of our performance as a team, but yet also very emotional to know that this is actually my last time that I'll be singing the national anthem as a player on the field.
My next question, what did hockey do for you in your life? You mentioned a few things now,
yeah,
making you a better person,
yeah,
on and off the field. And
yeah.
What did hockey do for you in general?
It did a lot. Wow, it did a lot. I'm just trying to reflect now. But I think the opportunities that came with it was first a struggle in terms of like getting myself out there, but the opportunity and the doors that were open through hockey to me, and where I am today is contributed by hockey as well in terms of my playing skills, who I am as a sports person as well. The brand that has been established around my name as well, it's all because of hockey. But there are lots of opportunities in hockey if you really go for it, especially the opportunity of me playing professional in Holland. That was a big eye-opener. It came with a lot of opportunities just besides being a hockey player, but also being able to study there and working a bit there before I came back home. So, and that is a door that was open because of hockey as well. So I really encourage all the hockey players, all potential hockey players, not to give up on hockey. It's really one of the sports codes that is undermined and underestimated, but with lots of great opportunities that is out there in the world. But it takes a lot to get to that stage as well.
A lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, a lot of self-commitment. You must go for it. There will be days that you just want to give up because the coach is screaming on you, or circumstances is not making it easy for you. But that's one thing I want to tell you: don't give up on your dreams. Just go for it.
Maggy, the MTC Senior National Women's Indoor Hockey Team departs tomorrow, and they are supported by Standard Bank, Namray, and Namdia.
Yes.
That made it possible for the women to go overseas and do the best preparation possible. Anyone that you want to thank to conclude?
I evenly want to thank all our corporates that has been supporting us in the World Cup, but also not just now, but it's corporates that has been part of hockey for years now, corporates that will be part of hockey, because we are going to make you proud as our current corporates, and we're going to attract more corporates. Just really from the bottom of my heart, thank you. As a sports person, I'm really thanking you, because this is like giving us an opportunity to really go out there and showcase the talent that we've been blessed with. So thank you MTC, thank you Namibri, thank you Namdia, thank you Standard Bank, and also thank you the government that has been part of the journey and really supporting us. I mean, for the past days, our Director of Sports, Ms. Manuel, and the Deputy Minister and the Chairperson of the Commissioner, Monica, they have been at the practice games for the past weeks. They've been supporting us every night. So I really want to thank the government officials, our leaders, to have been present in our lives, but also they have also financially, they're looking into really supporting us. So yeah, thank you Namibia.
Maggy, thank you very much. Good luck with the preparations. God bless, and we will watch you on TV when you compete in Pretoria.
Thank you so much.
Now on to the In the Pipeline segment of the show. We have none other than sprint star Christine Mboma. Sport Rep briefly caught up with the star, and this is what she had to say right after the break.
name is Christine Mboma here. I'm back training, preparing for my season. And I've been training so hard. I hope I will be back full force. And you guys supported me since day one. I hope I'll make you proud this year. Wish me good luck.
We now cross over to the Your Take segment of the show, and we have a recap interview with none other than Sports Director Johan Manuel, speaking about pending issues around the sports industry and what needs to happen to improve the industry. Good afternoon, viewers. So we are joined by the current Director of Sports, Ms. Johan Manuel, just to speak to us a little bit about her current role, her previous role, as well as she was with the marginalized people for almost 19 years as well. Welcome to the show, Ms. Manuel.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So as I've mentioned, you were with the marginalized people, including the people with disabilities, since 2009. Actually, that is close to 19 years. How did you come into that role?
Well, I just applied as any other person would have applied. But myself, I'm a person from a sport background. From the university to my high school years in primary school, I was an active athlete. And I just took on the opportunity to come and lead that division. And fortunately, I was successful. And I'm sure that we have done a good job, because I believe that people with disability are the cream of the crop when it comes to sports in Namibia.
Now, what would you say were some of the highlights that you can mention, having worked for that division over the years?
Obviously, the highlight was when Johanna Benson won her medal in 2012 Olympic, that was in the UK. And then obviously, Ananias also winning his gold in Brazil. But for me, the performance was that I could turn around disability sport. And we are at a level where we are in our own league compared to the able-bodied. And it just proved to you that disability does not mean inability. It's just differently able. And we have proven it as people with sports, with people with disability in sport in the country. And I'm grateful that I leave a foundation that cannot be shaken. Whoever is coming on board should just extend the wall. As they say, the sky is the limit.
Yes, of course. Now, with positives also comes challenges. Or with some of the challenges that you experienced?
The biggest challenge we have is funds. You know, government is trying by all its means, and I mean, the last 2-3 years with COVID did not make it easy for all of us. There was a stage where we could not even do practice sport because of the ban and through the regulations. But mostly for us, it is funding, because the will is there, the athletes are there, the technical officials are there. But if we don't have the economic power, there's little you can do, because whether you go to Durban, whether you go to the field, it needs money.
Yes. Of course, now, having moved from that division, now you are the current Director of Sport. You've been in office for a couple of weeks. How do you find that?
Okay, being in the sector for the past 13 years, I really don't find something that I don't know. So, as I said, it's again the issue of funds, market-related budgets. Are we having budgets that are relevant? For me, is the issue of facilities. You know, if people want to do sport, we need to provide them a space where they can train. If it's swimming, let's have a swimming pool. If it's a soccer pitch, let's have a pitch. If it's athletics, let's give them a track where they can train. And that's what I'm advocating, that let us give the people the facilities, and obviously the rest will come into place.
Now, of course, speaking about sport, it is a very big portfolio that you have right now. You look at junior sports, you look at secondary school sports, you private sectors, you look at national competitions and so forth. How do you think you will manage to assist all these different areas with your new position?
I think people are forgetting that I'm just promoted to a director. I'm still having my team.
Yes.
I'm still having my team, and I think I'm blessed to have a team that I have known for the past 13 years. And again, my team is probably also blessed to get somebody to steer the wheel that they already know. So there's no new things that are coming in. We all know what is our problem, and we all know what we should look to in order for us to deliver. And that is what we are going to do, hold our hands and push forward, that come 2024, we deliver at the Paris Olympics and Paralympics. Comes 2027, if we win the bid, then our team should be ready to diligently represent us. And come 2026, if the Africa Region 5 Youth Games comes to us, we deliver as a nation, and we are just steering the wheel, but under there, there's everybody that is needed in the system.
Now, for the previous 5 to 6 years, the sports fraternity has been looked upon as a stepchild, if that is the right word to use. Now, when it comes to the national budget now, as an example of the allocation that is, are you going to join those people who will be lobbying for an increase in this budget?
I think I'm blessed that I start in the time when we get a new ED. We have already informed our ED that we really seriously need to relook at the budget that is given to sport. And I believe that with the new ED we can push forward, and with our minister who seriously understand the whole process, I believe with the two, my ED and my minister, and on the front side, I believe we can deliver, because we know and we've been advocating for a long time that we need to reconsider what we are given as a ministry, because, you know, the youth are the majority that are unemployed. And the most simple thing that you can do, as my ED have said, empower them through sport. Let us make sure that the professional sports that we are advocating in the Harambee Prosperity Plan, as well as the NTB5, is transformed into the reality. And it can only be transformed into reality if we are given funds. Because when we say professional sport, it means that our athletes, our coaches, whoever is involved, must make a living out of sport. And for us to make sure that the sports people can get a living out of it, we need to pump in money. We need to give the facilities, we need to capacitate the federation, and we need to empower them financially so that they can get these people to go out and have more competition and be noticed by other international clubs out there.
Of course. Lastly, Ari Hogad is up next with international sports news. That will then conclude today's show. Catch us again on Monday for another edition of the show.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with cricket news. The SA20 tournament that continues, big runs being made in the tournament. Lots of strong international players playing in the tournament at the moment, especially some of England's best World Cup winning team. And one of them is Phil Salt. He's the opening batsman of England, and he was very instrumental in the Pretoria Capitals beating the Sunrisers Eastern Cape by 23 runs. It was Salt that scored 77 unbeaten runs off just 47 deliveries. That was for the Pretoria Capitals to score 193 for the loss of 6 wickets. And then it was a Sunrisers Eastern Cape that only managed to score 170 for the loss of 5 wickets. Staying with cricket news, and it is South African cricket that will soon announce a new coach. A set date was not given, but it will be in this month still. There needs to be a new test coach for the Protea team, and there's also going to be a different coach for the white ball formats. That is the T20 team and also the 50-over ODI team. That will be one coach for both of those formats. There's a few players, there are a few coaches that is in the running for this position. One of them will be Bongwe Maketu. He was the coach in Australia when South Africa now recently toured Australia. It was not a successful tour for South Africa. They lost the series 2-0, but he's in the running for the test side coach. Also in the running there is Richard Pybus, also Adrian Burrell, and then also the experienced Shruki Conrad. Also Rob Walters is in the mix. For the one-day format, there was also strong speculation that the former Protea player Lance Klusener will be in the mix to be the coach. He's one of the coaches, he's a coach of the Durban Super Giants in the SA20 series at the moment, but there's rumours, speculation that he will not be available as one of the coaches. Moving on to some tennis news, and it's the Australian Open that starts on Monday. That is the first major on the tennis calendar for 2023. The draw of the tournament has been made available, and it is number 1 seed Rafael Nadal in the men's division that will open his campaign in the Australian Open against Jack Draper of the United Kingdom. One of the early favourites is 9-time winner, that is Novak Djokovic, and he will play against Spain's Roberto Carballas. Also, it is Nick Kyrgios that is in the same side of the draw of Novak Djokovic. Nick Kyrgios is the number 19th seed player in the tournament. On the women's side of the draw, it's number 1 seed Iga Swiatek of Poland. She will play against Jules Niemeyer of Germany. And then number 2 seed is Ons Jabeur of Tunisia, and she will play against Tamaria Zidanske, and she is from Slovenia. Continuing international sports news with golf news, and it is a tournament on the PGA Tour that started off on Thursday. The first round is done. They're playing in Hawaii. It is the Sony Open, and it's played at the Waialiga Country Club, and the total prize money for this tournament is $7.9 million. The leaders after the first round, 3 players on 6 under par 64. That is Taylor Montgomery of the USA, also Jordan Spieth of the USA, and then Chris Kirk, also of the United States of America. Southern African interest, MJ Duffy, he came in with a good score of 3 under par 67, and then also Christian Besaidnot, Southern African interest, playing in the tournament. He's from South Africa, but he battled in the first round, coming in with a round of 74. That is 4 over par. Second at the moment is a former South African, that is Rory Sabatini. Rory Sabatini used to play under the South African flag. He was born in Durban in South Africa, but now plays under the Slovakian flag. To close off today's international sports news, it is rugby news, and it is the Wales rugby team that is in the news. They've got a new coach in Warren Gatland. He took over from Wayne Pivak, that was asked to vacate his position after poor performances of the Wales rugby team. So it was Warren Gatland that made some additions to his coaching staff. There's 2 new coaches that will help him. It is Alex King and also Mike Forshaw. Mike Forshaw is a tech coach, and he will join Neil Jenkins. He's a very experienced coach. Neil Jenkins has been coach for Wales for many years. The first game of Wales in the Six Nation campaign of 2023 will be on the 4th of February when they play at home against Ireland. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day and a sport weekend. We talk again on Monday. Goodbye.